or algorithm, and this one's kind of fun to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell these assets here. We made some money. We made a couple $100 on this call, which is nice. Fake money. I'm trading. I'm paper trading here because it doesn't make sense to do a demo with real money. I showed you my real money accounts there. I mean, you can look through a couple of them on our website, right? But this is a fake account so that I can just show you demos without worrying about what's happening. I can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But let me show you a demo of our Reddit bot. Okay, so what this bot does, and I'm gonna hit run, okay? And you'll notice that the broker has nothing in it here right now. We have no assets that we own. I just sold all of them, okay? And this Reddit bot, what it's gonna do, is gonna go to Reddit. And remember that there's no assets here. Probably when we get back, we'll show all these assets. We'll buy some stuff for us. So if I go to Reddit and I go to the cryptocurrency subreddit, so crypto, there's quite a few people in here. It's like a couple million people in the cryptocurrency subreddit, 6.1 million people. And they're talking about everything to do with crypto, right? There's a lot of posts in here. People talking about, this coin is a scam or this coin is really good, right? Jail Bankman-Fried before fraud trial, right? There's a lot of different articles in here. And what our strategy is going to do, our algorithm, is going to go into these, news things, right? So here we go into Polygon, for example, this post, and it's going to read all the comments, okay? So all these people are going to be talking about different things. They're going to talk about Polygon, they're going to talk about Bitcoin, they're going to talk about Ethereum, and it's going to be either a positive or a negative thing, right? It's a sentiment, right? So what we do is we tally that, right? We check, okay, does someone say something positive about Bitcoin? Does someone say positive about Ethereum? And if so, how many people said it and by how much, right? And we tally all that up to come up with what we should be investing in, right? So if we go over here, still downloading. It takes a little bit of time to download because it's a lot of data to go through on Reddit. But basically, it's going through all these comments, reading them, reading text, right? Like basically AI type stuff, right? And it's saying, well, what do people think about all these coins, right? Do people think right now that Ethereum is the best thing to own? Do they think that Dogecoin is the best thing to own? What is everyone talking about, right? And what has a potential for a breakout, right? So when it pays attention to that, it's going to take a little while to get this. We'll give it another minute or two. What it's going to do is going to have a sentiment score for each coin, right? So it would be a score from -1 is the worst, all the way to +1 being the best, 0 is neutral, right? And it'll basically say, okay, we've read 20 different comments or 100 or 1,000 different comments about Bitcoin. And in those 1,000 comments, we had on average a positive sentiment of 0.6, right? Let's say for Bitcoin. And then it'll do the same thing for all the other coins, right? It'll do this for Ethereum. It'll do this for Litecoin and all that kind of stuff. And then basically, depending on which one had the highest sentiment score, it will allocate our money accordingly, okay? And it's taking a little longer than expected. Maybe my internet's going a little slow right now. I'll restart this in a second if I need to. Let's restart it now. It's going to hit restart. I'm going to rerun it. And basically at the end of it, what you will see is that it will buy the top coins that are being mentioned and proportional to their sentiment, right? So if Bitcoin had a very high sentiment, we're going to put most of our money into that. If Ethereum has the highest sentiment, then we'll put our money into that, right? So we are basically going to be following what the market is saying is going to happen, right? It's like using AI, right? We're reading social media to inform our investments, right? And if you think about it, Reddit actually has had a very strong influence on a lot of different investments. So for example, if you guys ever were paying attention to like Bed Bath & Beyond or AMC or GameStop, right? There's even a Netflix special about this now. Basically, all this stuff started in Reddit, right? It was basically people on Reddit talking about, I love GameStop and I think it's a good investment. And basically were able to convince lots of people to invest into this stuff, and basically did a what's it called? It's a short squeeze that made it shoot up like 1,000% in a week, right? All this stuff originated from Reddit, right? And it's the same thing with cryptos, right? Crypto, a lot of people talk about on Reddit, right? And if you want to figure out what's the next breakout coin, what's the thing that's going to make you money going forward, Reddit is a pretty good bet to find those things, right? There's a lot of smart people on there, and it's kind of the wisdom of the crowd, if you want to put it that way, right? So this thing's still going. It's taking a little while. I think my internet, like I said, I'm in Mexico. I'm in Tulum right now, so my internet's a little slow. But we'll wait for this thing to go, and we will see how what this thing recommends to buy. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. So it just bought 3 coins for us, right? It bought Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Those are the most talked about coins. It bought mostly Ethereum, right? It put $46,000 into Ethereum, because most likely people are saying very good things about Ethereum right now. The second biggest was Solana, 23%, 23,000, and the lowest was Bitcoin at 17,000. This is the portfolio that this recommends right now based off of current markets, right? And why did it do that? Well, we can go in here and I can tell you, right? So here's basically all the scores that it got, right? So it looked through all these different articles, found all these scores. For Dogecoin, it found that an average score of 0.10, okay? And it's based off of all these articles that it read. Bitcoin had an average score of 0.96. Ethereum had an average score of 0.26. That's probably why we have so much money in there. And then Solana had an average score of 0.13. So that's basically how we determined this, right? So because Ethereum had the highest sentiment score, that's why it got the most amount of money, right? Automatically place these trades. You can see it nice and green, and we fill those orders. And what this algorithm will do is it will constantly keep monitoring Reddit. It'll monitor this as often as you want, every day, every hour, every week, however often you want this to do it, and then buy the best coins for you. Buy the ones that people on Reddit are talking about and are saying positive things. It will automatically make sure that you're in those best coins on a regular basis, right? So very cool algorithm. Definitely a lot of potential here. There's a lot of ways they could swing this too. There's a lot of ways you can modify this algorithm to do some really, really, really cool stuff, right? Cool. All right. So those are the 4 algorithms I want to show you today, right? Actually, before we continue, this algorithm that we have here, this Reddit algorithm, can actually do a lot of really cool stuff, right? You can make it follow influencers, for example, follow Elon Musk or any other influencers that you believe in. You know, automatically when they post something, it could just automatically invest in what they're suggesting, right? If they're a good influencer, they're making good money, we can just literally follow what they're doing and we'll be the first ones in, the first ones out. Even if they're not good at this stuff, maybe they influence the market, right? Either way, it could be a very good way to make money. We could get to follow messaging channels. We could get to follow Discord or Telegram or Slack, right? Or Facebook Messenger. You could listen to any one of those channels and automatically trade based on what's happening in there. We could pay attention to social trends. For example, Wall Street bets on Reddit or that cryptocurrency Reddit that I showed you. It could pay attention to news, right? The same way that's reading this text. You can read news text and say, hey, there's some really good news that just came out about Bitcoin. You know, why don't we own it and hold on to it, right? So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you could do with it. All right, cool. Right, so that's our the 4 algorithms I want to show you. There's a lot more stuff that you could do with it, right? There's you know, you could hook into a lot of like custom feeds. There's Lunar Crush, which is, you know, one that here basically has social insights they can link into. There's that, what's it called? I just had that one up. The token sniffer, right? Where we're looking up basically what which tokens are like scams or not. You could look at what Congress is buying if you're paying attention to stocks. There's all sorts of really cool stuff they can do with these algorithms. There's so much information out there in the world right now. Everything's online. You could use any of that information really to build your bots and do whatever you want it to do, right? There's a lot of really cool stuff they can build, right? And a lot of really good money to be made. All right, okay, so those are the algorithms.